Dragon Ball Legends has been absolutely killing it this year, and they're not stopping anytime soon, it doesn't look like, because we are summoning for an incredible tag Super Saiyan 3 Goku and Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta. Are you kidding me? And the SSJ4 boys are back too, which I do need more copies of them. Legends Fest was such an interesting one because I feel like I liked the Super Saiyan 4s, but then Trunks and Vegeta was I liked that moment, but you know, I was kind of the same way with it in Dokkan as well. And then they finished with probably my favorite Ultra to date. Love Rose, but Love Hit. Yeah, it's the champ. But man, Ultra Gogeta Blue is just like on another level to me, man. I don't know. Again, Rose is really close. Ah, man. Sometimes I feel like when you look up in the sky and you see the two things, sometimes Frieza be up in the sky and it feels like it's gonna do the thing and the sword and, you know, all that fun stuff. And then secondly, depending on how Goku's eyes look up at Frieza, I feel like Bardock's gonna come in and we're gonna do the father-dad thing, and then I'm gonna get my unit. It's gonna be fantastic. And then it doesn't happen. And instead, here we are, and I'm getting nothing. Absolutely nothing. All right, we're on step 3 now. This is 700cc Toastie, 700cc. Surely it's gonna be good. Oh, it's feeling good. Huh? 5 pods. Anytime I point out the pods, I just have like flashbacks to like early days of Dokkan. Five pods, and then we had that weird update that didn't last too long, but it was in between the first stuff, and we got it all the way up to like 7 pods. And if you got 7 pods, that was like guaranteed SSR, because we used to not have guaranteed SSRs. So anytime I do acknowledge the pods in Legends, I'm like, pods, 5 pods. 3 pods. Ooh, that's a good pickup. I love that art. I still feel like that art was wasted on an extreme. No offense, Goku. Oh, look, it's the Super Saiyan 3 himself. Dude, see, I've barely pulled this guy. He's just now 3 stars. Dude, I'm super hungry. And I don't really have time to order delivery, nor do I want to spend that much money. So I guess it's a good thing that I have today's sponsor, Factor. Factor delivers meals straight to your front door. And then you can just grab a meal out of your fridge, like this shredded chicken taco bowl, then heat it up for a couple minutes. And just like that, it's almost ready, and it's saving me a ton of time. And it tastes absolutely amazing. And it's super fresh. I mentioned this before, but I'm taking fitness way more seriously this year. And with Factor, they offer meal plans that fit a lot of different goals, from keto and calorie smart to vegan and vegetarian. Also, it's just super handy to have these meals sitting in the fridge ready to go when you get hungry and you're in the middle of a gaming session with friends. Oh, and also they have smoothies. Tropical fruit. So use my link down below in the description, or go to go.factor75.com and use code POGNANO8PR50 for 50% off your first box. And once you click the link down below in the description, the number will actually live update to count up the purchases. It's really dope. Factor, thank you for sponsoring today's video. Let's get back to it. Step 4, here we go. Green skies. And seriously, a shout out to Factor for sponsoring the video, because sponsors like Factor are what make these summons possible. Massive shout out to Factor. And another little bonus, my sister-in-law came over and was like, can I try one of the Factor meals? And I was like, yeah, absolutely. So she tried one of the it was like a Mexican beef dish. She said it was amazing. I was like, yes. I've never had a bad bowl from Factor. Stand by it wholeheartedly. And I do think it is really cool that it updates live. So thank you, Factor, again, for sponsoring today's video. Now, let's talk through some things, y'all. There's a lot of stuff. First off, this isn't live. I haven't not done the live version of this in a while, but we're here, we're making a video. Few things. First off, what is going on with the discourse with Dragon Ball Super Broly? And maybe it's just a Twitter thing. Broly, when it came out, was a unanimously loved thing. I feel like there was very few people. The only time I felt like anyone had anything to say was maybe they like Z Broly more than Super Broly, but that wasn't necessarily them saying they didn't like Dragon Ball Super Broly. But now I'm seeing, this would be so iconic, by the way. I know it's like Dragon Fist and it's not like just normal, but still Super Saiyan 3 to get a Super, that would be very, very iconic. It doesn't look like that's happening. Tien, are you coming through? Because I'm also about to get Majin Buu Saga Tag Unit Super Saiyan 3 Goku and Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta. That would be so awesome. That would be so absolutely incredible. You know what else would be incredible? And I mentioned this, and a lot of you guys asked this for me. I'm all over the place today, but you know what? It's a good time. We're here. I'm enjoying myself. Hope you're enjoying this video as well. But I recorded my entire playthrough. That is just now a 7-star TN, dude. That's crazy. Okay, let's go. I recorded my entire playthrough of God of War Ragnarok, and I put it out on the internet. Now, I'm not going to direct link to it. You know where to go. Actually, I'll link to the other channel that it's on. It's not on this channel. If you're like, why didn't you put it on this channel? It just will be better living over on the other channel. But if that's something you're interested in, the last thing I'll say about it, check it out. It's 7 hours long. So if you're ever just feeling like you want some comfort Nano on in the background on the TV or on the side monitor, or you're just like laying in bed and you can't go to sleep and you're like, fine, I'll watch some God of War Ragnarok with Nano. No, it's not just a 7-hour video that was cut down. It is genuinely a super cut. It has edits through the entire 7 hours. No, this was not streamed. This is like an exclusive thing that like no one's really ever seen. I streamed like my first like hour or two of God of War. Then I did the rest off cam. It was a very experimental thing for me, but it is my entire experience with God of War Ragnarok and a super cut from beginning to end. Edits all the way through. I think the best way to describe it is, imagine if I had put out like 20 videos, all as their own YouTube videos, the YouTube videos that you're used to seeing on my channel that are well edited and all of that, and they're smushed down into one long 7-hour video. That's the best way I know to describe it. It is 7 hours of actual edits, not just cutting it down to make it fit into a 7-hour video. It is cohesive. It is, and you can literally experience the entirety of God of War Ragnarok with me in 7 hours. It is so cool. If that sounds cool to you and you're looking to just like, again, you just need something to throw on, almost like podcast style. You'll want to watch all of God of War Ragnarok with me. It's live. It exists on the internet, and I'll link to the channel where it's at over there. So that's all I'm going to say about it. If that's something you think is cool, I'll probably mention it a few more times because a lot of effort, a lot of time, and a lot of work went into that video, and we are so proud of it. So massive shout out to Zamian for that video. And very interesting for me to record like 25-30 hours and then have that be cut down into a 7-hour experience that now exists on the internet. You know, and the other thing too, if you've someone that's played it and you just want to see how I reacted to it, there are all the moments well edited live over there too. So like there's multiple reasons to check it out. So if you played the game already, you just want to see how I reacted to certain sort of like instances and things that happened, it exists. If you've never seen it and you're like, all right, cool. Yeah, wait, I can experience a 25-ish, 30-hour game in 7 hours with Nano. That seems like valuable to me. Let's do it. Wait. Let's go! This wasn't bad at all! If you guys have been tuning into the streams, bro, they've been pretty bad, but not today! Yes, man! Oh my gosh! Oh, dude, they look so cool. All right, let's see it. What's the alt art? Okay, I don't really care for that. That looks a little weird to me. This art is way better. Am I crazy for that? This art is like way better. I like that, but I'm not a fan of that. Oh my gosh, dude. All right, we gotta see if we can get one more copy. That would be, this video can end when I get one more copy of them. That seems fair. And the last PSA that I want to mention, but the final bout video that I did with Dotto, which I will link at the end of this video, is one of my favorite videos on the channel. So if you care at all about my vouches on things and you're just looking for like an extra Nanogenix video today, tomorrow, you know, you might just put those two on your docket. Now, I could get it, though, if you've watched a million God of War Ragnarok playthroughs, then sure. Or if you don't want to be spilled on it because you eventually want to play yourself. Totally understand. But otherwise, it's some premium Nano content. So they are both really good videos. So I will stop plugging there. Let's get back to our superhero discussion. By the way, by consensus, I love God of War Ragnarok. I had several of you guys ask me, by the way. I promise it's not just like doing this for the sake of doing it. Like I've had so many people ask me, did I play it? Have I beat it? What did I think? I really enjoyed it. I give a lot of my thoughts over there, and you again can experience the whole thing. It is live on the internet. It exists. Sorry I didn't put it on this channel. I felt like it had a better chance than the other one. Superhero versus Broly, which is so dumb. Why are we you know, pitting two kings against one another, right? Like they are both fantastic movies. They both have, I think, vastly different goals in mind when they set out to make those movies, and they both have, they're just so different. They're just two very different movies. One is almost entirely action oriented, which I feel like is the core of Dragon Ball. But then two is very, very, very character oriented, which is also a core element of Dragon Ball. The story of Dragon Ball, I actually really enjoy the story of Dragon Ball. People are like, oh, who cares about the story? The story of Dragon Ball is fun. Anything these characters are doing, I want to watch it. You know what I mean? Like, but I think that is it. The core of it is more so the characters I care about, not so much necessarily like the story of like where are we going to go next in terms of the story. It's like where are these characters going to go next? Which I guess you could argue that's just the story, but there's a difference there. Hopefully that makes sense. Anywho, but the thing is, in return of somehow not praising superhero, we are putting down Broly. And I'm like, why? Now, my stance on it, and I firmly believe this, Broly is the better movie. I think Broly's the better movie. Now, when I watch Superhero, and even now, I watched it mostly again. I skipped some of the beginning. My God, that intro scene is so long. Like, once you get past the cool non-3D animated scene and you get into the actual thick of the movie, and they're picking up Dr. Hedo, whatever, from prison. That scene is so long. It's so drawn out. It makes sense, but like after I've seen it once, I'm kind of okay. Maybe when I watch it in a few years, I'll be like, oh, I want to watch all this. But me rewatching it now, and I just watched it, like, I'm good. Also, I bought the movie from Japan. When I first did my full rewatch, I got it imported from Japan, and I just could not be asked to watch that part with no subtitles and no understanding of what they're saying. So like, I'm good. But for the most part, I've rewatched it. I really do like that movie a lot. And so the thing I will say about that movie is that when I rewatched Broly, I didn't immediately go, I want to show this to my son and wife. Like this isn't a movie that I feel like the three of us could sit down and as a family enjoy as a whole, because it is very much so it was made for Dragon Ball fans 100%. But I feel like Superhero actually has a lot of elements that can be relatable without having a lot of backstory to everything else, which that sounds weird because Dragon Ball Super Broly has a very good story. Anyone attacking the story of Dragon Ball Super Broly is really weird to me because I feel like you haven't maybe watched it in a while. Like, it has a really good story, like setting up Broly's motives and seeing the old school like Saiyans on planet Vegeta and Frieza coming and all those things. Like, that movie is awesome, but I didn't leave that movie going, I want to show my wife this, and who, by the way, does not watch Dragon Ball, doesn't really watch a lot of anime. We don't really watch a lot of anything anymore, really. We are just so busy with the kids and life and everything like that. We don't really get to watch a lot of stuff, but I didn't leave that movie going, I want to stall watch this. But I did leave Superhero thing. I kind of want to sit down and this be like a family movie night movie because it was funny. It had like a pretty good, like, again, Broly has a very cohesive story, but I feel like you care more about that story as a Dragon Ball fan, and Superhero can be more viewed as just like general audience viewing. Take that for what you will. Please be Whis. What is happening? Why is this happening? Why are my summons like Legends goes, here you go, here's the LF, and then now it's like nothing. Like, I can still take the 4s, bro, or maybe the one more copy of the Super Saiyan 3 and Super Saiyan 2. But in order to praise Superhero, for some reason people think they need to put down Broly, and then I've seen it's been a lot of like putting Broly down. But then it's also just been in praising Superhero, but it's also just been like people being like, yeah, reflecting back on Broly, that movie wasn't as good as we all thought it was. No, actually it was. Okay, I'm sorry. And yes, the official Nanogenix stance is Broly is the better movie over Superhero. Love them both. I feel like they are both like 10 out of 10 Dragon Ball films in their own different ways. But in my opinion, Broly is the better movie. I personally enjoy Broly so much. Now, I think the one thing that would change this, and there's so many layers, bro. There's so many layers. When I see people go like, well, DBS Broly was just fan service the movie. I'm like, bro, have y'all seen Beast Gohan? Are you kidding me? That has got to be more fan service than Broly and Gogeta combined. It has to be. Are you kidding me? And it's just literally out of nowhere. We build throughout Broly to all the things that happens. Gohan just all of a sudden is Beast. Do I really care? No, not at all. Give me more of it. I don't care. They're Saiyans. He's the prodigal son. Literally, Gohan can do no wrong in my eyes. You can give him any power up ever, and I will be so happy and okay with it. And you don't have to give me a reason at all because he's Gohan. I just want to make that very clear. However, when you're calling Broly fan service, will we have this massive hair, white-haired Gohan? Are you kidding me? Dude, no. Holy. But the one thing that I think Superhero would actually probably make me like it more than Broly was if they had made Cell go perfect. I don't really know why we brought Cell back. This is truly my complaint. We brought him back. You're pulling the nostalgia strings. You're having Gohan literally do his transformation that he did to go to Super Saiyan 2. You're basically giving Gohan a modern day Super Saiyan 2 transformation. Like, that's literally what I feel like. And that's what not feel like. That's what Beast is. Beast is a modern day 2022, 2023, I guess, because the movie's still new-ish and just came out technically on Blu-ray here in the States and digital. You're giving him a modern Super Saiyan 2 transformation. Like, for a lot of new age Dragon Ball fans, that is now that moment that lives with a lot of us, like old heads. You can kind of say that watched, you know, back on Toonami on Cartoon Network and watched Super Saiyan 2 for the first time that way. This is a lot of the new age fans. That's their moment for them, is him going into Beast. Man. Anyway, so you were already embracing it. For the love of everything, have Cell Max explode or have him do something like, and you think the movie is done, right? Like Gohan, Dotto and I actually talked about this. Gohan and Piccolo are literally standing there, and you think the movie is done. You think you're about to wrap like it all up, and then you hear just the laugh. You know, the laugh. And Cell is standing there in the smoke. That would have been a way to make me go, okay, maybe. And then also would have given us more time with Beast, which I do think was way too short. We get literally like 4 or 5 times the actual screen time with Gogeta than we do with Gohan. It's absolutely insane. Like, I get it, the animation was crazy, went to Beast, but man, was that scene just so fast. And like, we actually got to spend very real quality time with Gogeta. Like, there's so much screen time with Gogeta. Like, if you watch any of the old Dragon Ball movies, it's like 35 minutes of setup, because these movies are only like 45 minutes long. It's like 35 minutes of setup, like tops like 5 to like 8 minutes of like really good in-depth fighting. And then the movie ends, and you have the quick outro, and everyone, we win, and all the things, right? And that's kind of like, Superhero had a lot of fun, like in between stuff. But that's kind of how Superhero felt. Like like it was a lot of build up to a finale that was kind of short, and especially getting to the Beast part, like that was so short. I wanted just a little more time. And if you had that, what felt like a final act, and then they faked us out and they gave us like what was really the final act, which is like perfect Beast Gohan, that would have probably, I would have probably told you, yes, Superhero is the better movie. But they didn't do that. And so because they didn't do that, I feel like Broly has the upper hand for me personally. And even then, in that world, I still don't know if I would say Gohan v Cell round 2 is better to me than the fusion of the 2 strongest Saiyans versus Broly, who's one of my absolute favorite characters growing up. I mean, there's a lot of people's favorite characters. It's Broly, dude. Like, I don't know, man. That would have been really difficult. But with what we got from Superhero, Somax was really cool. He was neat. I will give them that. When we first heard about him, I was real scared. But when we actually seeing him in action and seeing him be a thing, thought that was really cool. Was I praying on everything that somehow Perfect was still going to show up? Yes. I really was. I don't know why, but it was just like one of those things where I was like, please just let him go Perfect, just because why not? I know some of you are probably, no, that would have been too much fan service, that would have been awful. But I don't know, man. Like, just embrace it. Who cares? It's Dragon Ball. It's literally meant to be a spectacle. I feel like the entire purpose of this show is to just be a spectacle, and has been for like 30 years. So just let it be a spectacle and just do the cool stuff. Like, so I kind of hope the manga, and at some point whenever we get the anime pack, which is totally not going to happen, but you know, one can hope. I do hope that they maybe make a, you know, little change and let Cell go Perfect. Now that would be sick, because in the manga, like, you can, you know, they're recapping, or they're doing their superhero arc right now, and you can absolutely get away with doing that because you're not under any sort of like well, you're under a budget, but not like they were. I don't know why, but they were really hard set on getting that movie out, I guess, at a certain time. Beerus. So even if someone was like, we should really make Cell go Perfect, someone was like, no, we don't have time for that. This movie needs to get out now. Like, we can't afford to push this movie back anymore. So no, as cool as that would be, no. Tell Toritara, or how you say his name, to freaking put it in the manga, and that can be where it exists. Okay, cool, we got it. There you go. And that's it. GG's, it's a wrap. I am looking forward to seeing if he ends up doing that. So now let's look to the future. All right, we got Superhero, we got Broly. Cool, we know Broly's the better movie. But what's next? Now, a lot of people are over them bringing people back. Whatever. I don't care. I want a cooler movie, an updated Cooler movie so bad, because we haven't ever got a Frieza and Cooler like interaction, and I want that so bad. Like, growing up, if Broly was truly my probably favorite movie character, then Cooler was 1,000,000% my second. Like, I love those two Cooler movies so much, dude. Like for me growing up, definitely there's a gap between movie 8 and the two Cooler movies in every other movie. I liked Second Coming. We don't speak about Broly, but like for me, the two Cooler movies and movie 8, the Legendary Super Saiyan Broly, are like way up here, and then every other movie starts like way down here. And I listen, I know some people are gonna be like, blasphemous, Fusion Reborn. But Fusion Reborn is another one where it is so dang short, man. Like, it is so, like, Gogeta's on screen for like literally 90 seconds. It is about a 90-second thing. And Child Tyler was like, oh, okay, so what, what are we doing? Z Broly gave us like, that movie, again, not long, gave us genuinely like 15 to 16 minutes. Like, I'm pretty positive. Or maybe even like 20. I think they start fighting him. I think he goes like LSSJ at like 25 minutes in on that film, I feel like. And then Goku doesn't land the final punch until like close to 40 something. So I don't know. Like, again, and then it probably would be like Fusion Reborn. And I really like Wrath of the Dragon. And I like the BoJack movie. It's mostly just Gohan. That, like, BoJack's kind of whatever for me. It's mostly just the Gohan bits. I'm not a fan of Slug. Slug is like, Truth is on this like agenda to get Slug as a Dokkan Fest at some point this year in Dokkan, and I fully believe he will be. But the Slug movie, and maybe I just need to rewatch it. I've not really rewatched it like within the last decade, probably. Actually, no, I haven't. I've not rewatched that movie definitely in the last decade. As I'm like saying that loud, I'm like, wow, that would mean I've had to watch it at least since 2013, and I most definitely have not watched that movie since 2013. No, yeah, I just did not like that Slug film. I'm like, man, I'm sure he's gonna get a DFE. I hope his animations are good, because as far as Slug as a character, I just don't care. That one is like way down there. I would much rather get like a really cool DFE like Garlic Jr. Like, I actually like Garlic Jr. And the Garlic Jr. movie has some really good animations. Bardock. That's what I've never seen. I've never seen the Super Saiyan one. I've watched clips on YouTube, but I've never sat down and watched the chilled Bardock special thing, whatever that is. Is that minus? Is that what that's from? I don't know. I've never watched it. There are some things that are like that I've never seen. Like, I've seen all of, obviously, Z and all of the like official normal movies, but some of the like weird random, like I've never watched all of the movie that came on Raging Blast 2. I cannot think of what that movie is called right now. Something of the Saiyans. Is it Radication? No. In the middle is, I mean, I could definitely Google it, but some of you are going to correct me, so just correct me. It's fine. I've never watched all that. I went to the end and I just watched the end, the final fight scene with Hachiyak, so I could know who this character was I was using. That was crazy good, and dude, he was so good in Raging Blast 2. That character was busted, bro. They made him do so much damage, and he was huge. What was the name of that movie? That's going to drive me nuts. Plan to eradicate the Super Saiyans. I was close. I was actually close and did not even realize it. Man. Or I did realize it, I guess. Ah, yes. A neutral clash. I love those. Ah, yes. An EX Rosie into a fake out black screen. Of course not. Wait, I thought I was on the am I on the 5? Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, because you... Ooh, it's late. I'm recording this late. Shut up. Things happen. What I would do for a Trunks or Bardock animation. Blue skies. Okay, wait. This feels like a Broly moment, you know? This feels like a Broly moment. Hang on. I can sense it. Wait, it's not? No, Broly. Legends, what are we doing? More importantly, Legends, nice little bunny Bulma. Cool. And more importantly, Legends, where are the new summoning animations? Hey, Kid Boo. All right, how much money are we putting on Boo as an ultra at the end of this month? If you guys watched the reveals and stuff, there is a lot of stuff they're doing the rest of this month. And an Ultra Kid Boo would be crazy. An Ultra Kid Boo is still crazy. An Ultra Buuhan would also be crazy. An Ultra just Boo would be really cool too. Dude, I'm so happy with where Legends is at right now. I know like they do be releasing a lot of stuff. I agree. But it is healthy for the game, and it is so important that you have to understand you don't have to summon for everything. I feel like these games, both Dokkan and this game, have really set themselves up to not be required. And I know some of you are going to go, yeah, you need to, it's PvP. But I feel like if you're saying that, you probably don't play a ton. Because like with the tag system and stuff like that, which granted, if you choose the wrong tag, bro, I'm sorry, man. Or like if your favorite is like GT be struggling a little bit out there, you know, something like that. But you can kind of focus on more specific characters and really worry about getting them as opposed to trying to get everyone, you know, like easier said than done. I'm very aware of that, by the way. But they really do lend themselves to like, once you get a really solid team, you just worry about buffing that team and then just go from there. And like, that could be that. By the way, is this my free? I think this is my free one. This would be so great if Broly. Oh, come on. At least we're winning. It is blue skies. It is blue skies. And so even though they are cranking it up, I feel like you can still be pretty selective of when you want to actually dive in. Another thing too is like, unless you just really love Boo Saga stuff, you probably can definitely bet on the fact that whatever the anniversary is probably going to be hype. It's probably going to be really good. Obviously, going into anniversary, probably want to save unless you really are just like, Boo Saga is literally my favorite thing. There's nothing like, I just want to have these units because I love Boo Saga stuff. There is nothing anniversary could do that would make me want to summon. Now, in my opinion, as much as I love them, if we actually get a Goku and Frieza, which I feel like is what they're building to, if we actually get a Goku and Frieza, that's like peak, bro. Absolute peak. I want Goku and Frieza in this game so bad. A tag, I just feel like a tag Goku and Frieza would be so much fun. Like it would be so freaking cool to have that unit. Tag units are just, man. All right, this is actually my last CC without having to buy more. And I really want one last copy of them. Could we make this happen? This would be so insane. I'm literally out of CC. I cannot summon anymore. There is a sparking. It's not who we want. Please let there be one more sparking. One more? There's not gonna be one more.
A few minutes later.
Okay, I loaded up. I want one more copy. This video ends when I get one more copy. Now, I do have some collabs planned, I think. You never know. Like, anytime I say that and then it doesn't happen, and then I have people commenting like, where's the collab? Where's the collab? It's been 3 days. It's been 4 days. Sometimes you just cannot control, like, you can't control those things. Like, collabing with people is something you just 100% cannot control, because especially with some people that have like full-time jobs, families, all this stuff, like it is so difficult to try to find a time, because when those collabs are edited down, they look like they're just like these 20-minute experiences. And so in your brain, even between the two channels, you think like, well, they just sat down for probably like 40 minutes and then they were done. And that's not the case ever, because it's, you know, typically, at least for me personally, like I don't have a ton of people on the channel. I want to be friends with the people before they're on the channel. Like, when you guys got introduced to Diddy last year, I think he's a really, really good example. I had already spent hours upon hours in this dude's subathon. He did a 60-day subathon, and I was there almost daily. Like, in my downtime, I was hanging out with him on his stream. And so after 2 months of talking to this dude through Twitch chat and being in voice chats with him on his stream, like we had become pretty decent friends. So then it was very easy for us to then transition that friendship into just like recording Dokkan videos. So by the time y'all saw him, he was a new face to a lot of you, but I'd been hanging out with him over on his stream for like a few months at that point, because like that was in January. I think the first collab I did with Diddy was like in April or May of last year. So he and I had already been good friends, but like when you sit down, you don't just go like immediately like we hop on a Discord call and like record. I mean, sometimes we do to make scheduling work. Like some of my recordings with Rhyme have been very just like, which granted, Rhyme's not been on the channel a lot lately. He and I are just like, I feel like we're in very different places right now. He's not doing a lot of the mobile game stuff. I'm still in a decent amount of the mobile game stuff. Anytime we try to like do anything, like the schedules just don't align. Really great example of that. Like super good example of schedules I feel like not aligning. Like he'll message me, but I'm doing something with my kiddos, or I'm out of the house, or like, you know, and that dude, if you don't get there and do it right then and there, like he's already recorded it because he's daily uploader and he's got to get it recorded and done. So it is what it is. But a lot of times when it's not just a very hardcore, like we don't have a lot of time, then you want to sit there and you want to hang out. You want to get like you know, see how they've been doing. Talk to the person a little bit, because you're about to record a video that 1,000. No, I'm realizing we're actually not pulling that many Legends Limited. What is that, 3, 4 total? And how much CC? Anyway, because your entire interaction with somebody is about to be viewed again 1,000, maybe 100,000 times, maybe a few 100,000 times. So like, you want to hang out with them, and plus, like, again, all these people are like my friends, so I want to chat with them and just get warmed up a little bit before we go into the actual filming session. And then on top of that, the filming sessions lately have been usually more like 40 minutes to an hour each. Then we edit them down and make them into a nice cohesive YouTube video that's more like 20 minutes. So even if you don't include the banter and the getting to hang out with your friend for a minute before you turn it into a recording session, like just the recordings alone are a couple of hours. And so sometimes people's lives, they just don't work out in a way to where, because the other thing too is like, you start adding in more and more people, like a trio thing. Oh my gosh, dude, that layers. Because first off, we have to find, all of the three of us have to find the time to record 3 videos back to back to back. You are talking, even if we are like so incredibly efficient, you're talking at least a 3-hour block of window, which if you think like, oh, well, y'all are YouTubers, just find the time. It's like, it seems like it should be that easy, but for whatever reason, it just isn't. I don't know why, but it just is never, it is just never that easy. Like it's really not, man. I don't know. And so sometimes when I think these things are going to happen and they don't, it's like totally out of my control. Because if my schedule doesn't align with their schedule and their schedule doesn't align with my schedule for several days, and they're so time sensitive, Bardock. Like if we miss the window of recording, especially I'm mostly talking about these on like dual summon kind of things. If these videos aren't out within the first like fewish days, they're a little old news, right? Like they are old news. What is happening? Why? I mentioned I'm not getting any LFs, and now I'm getting all the LFs, but it's not the LFs that we want. I could get the tickets. I could risk it and get the tickets. Vegeta's gonna save me. All right, Vegeta's got me. This is it. He's coming in. He's doing a standby, so that way I can pull the Super Saiyan 3 right here. Anywho, all that to say, I do hope the collabs happen. And before the collabs happen, I would like to pull 2 copies. 2 copies, please. And if the collabs don't happen, then I see, there you go. I don't have to go back in for another video, and I have them where I would at least like to have them, question mark. These are going okay. These are not going great. We got them a little early. Now it's like, Father! I look like an idiot. I also just swiped and it didn't do anything. Maybe it's a good sign. I just swiped twice. Oh, now it's lagging. Oh. It's not the right hit. Fake out. Black screen. Speaking of BoJack, speaking of trash movie villains, I'm kidding. Where am I? Free step. It's free. So that means it's got to be good. Wait, it is loading a long time. With Tao? Oh, please let me lose. Let me lose this. Frieza. Hey, hang on. Frieza, here you go. Senzu Bean. What? Do with it. Yep, do the thing. I gave you the Zenkai boost. Win. Y'all, I'm telling you, the Vegeta animation is so rare. It's like insane how rare that animation is. I know the last time I said that, I then ended up getting it, but it's like, I've gotten it so little. Was it destroyed? It was destroyed Namek. Destroyed Namek blue. Yeah. This isn't gonna go. Yeah, not the Super Saiyan 3 I was looking for. Or the Super Saiyan 3 I deserve, though. The final frontier. This is where my father joins in, because this is where he fought Frieza. Was in space! All right, please. For the one time, space is gonna come through. It's gonna be beautiful. Maybe. Let's go! Oh my gosh, it came through. Wait, that was only on a 5? They are now 6 stars. And don't forget, Factor is sponsoring today's video, which you can check out by clicking the link in the description. And if you want another awesome Dragon Ball video with Dotto, you can click this right here.